My dear messieurs and madames, there's trouble in paradise, and it seems, sadly, that the honeymoon is well over for our once happy lovers. Welcome to the Sisters Sanditon. Well, this evening we shall divulge all the gossip on episode 7 of Bridgerton.
Yes, well, I don't know about you, dear, but that last episode took me days to recover from. My delicate sensibilities could hardly stand it.
Oh, yes.
And my poor finger was so sore from having to hit fast forward so much, I thought I'd never recover. My goodness.
Yes, well, that last episode was something, but we saw Daphne uncover the Duke's secret of his supposed inability to have children, which we now know is plainly just his desire not to.
Correct. And now we see Daphne, and she's raging on the piano.
Yes.
And the Duke is out shooting. They're both trying to outdo each other with their noise, right?
She opens the door to try to disturb him further.
And then at dinner, they start speaking to each other via the footman.
Yes.
No less.
Who can't really believe it. Am I really supposed to say that?
Yes. And she wants to move out of their room, right?
Yes.
And she says, that's customary anyway. And he says, no, he doesn't want her to because you're my wife.
Yes.
He says.
Well, and he wants to be kept informed on the success of her conjugal efforts, right?
Correct.
And she says she would never dream of keeping a secret, which, of course, is a little bit of a dig at him for having kept her in the dark.
I thought
right?
so, too.
I mean, as we have all seen, she doesn't mind being in the dark with him from episode 6, but being kept in the dark is perhaps something slightly different.
Yes.
For the literal.
Yes, I see.
We see what I mean. Yes.
I see, I do.
In the dark, nonetheless.
Well, we're back to not keeping secrets. Lady Whistledown's latest publication, as we know, featured the disgrace of Miss Marina Thompson, right? But Colin Bridgerton was also involved in that. And so Daphne and the Duke go racing back to Bridgerton House because, they're going to need help.
Lend their support.
Right, lend help. And Daphne also says, let's take the larger carriage because I'll need my space.
Yes. Well, perhaps they can make up on the journey home and take advantage of the large space in there. As we have all seen, they like to play whist in all sorts of places.
That's right.
Perhaps they can make up, have a little game.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, well, we know the Duke really goes along to keep tabs on Daphne, which, when they arrive, she says, no need to act the jailer. I'm not going to discover that I'm with child in the next hour, am I?
Correct.
So he does not go in to Bridgerton House with
Bridgertons
her.
think is a little strange.
Can all why isn't he here? Well, he's going to prepare Hastings' house.
Young love, can it be over already?
Yes.
Right. And then Daphne says, pretending that nothing is amiss is the perfect way to lure the ignorant into submission. Is it not, Mama? And so I think she's taking a little dig at sweet dear Mama for not having explained things of what goes on in the marriage bed.
Further proof that everyone's going, what is wrong? Something is amiss.
And everyone's looking a tad uncomfortable.
Yes.
And we've got Colin who isn't happy because he can't see Marina anymore. But I tell you what, I'd be thanking my lucky stars that my family had sheltered me from such a scandal.
Yes, what a rogue.
And
he's very lucky.
Then Daphne is kind and says that she'll arrange a chaperoned meeting for him.
She feels sorry for them, yes. Well, as Lady Whistledown says, there is no parasol in the world strong enough to shelter a ruined woman. But because Lady Whistledown said in her column that Marina was pregnant before she arrived, she has saved Colin and the Bridgertons from a scandal. Because if she hadn't said that, they would have assumed that he was the father. Right? And so no one believes that he is the father. Anthony says thank God for her, she's the reason that no one thinks you're the father.
And now our Duke is back at the boxing ring, right, with his friend Will, and they're going a few rounds.
Yes, from the looks of him, he can go quite a few rounds.
Yes. In the ring, you mean?
Well, yes, where else, sister dear?
I'm sorry, I misunderstood your meaning there.
Yes, quite.
I'm sure I did, didn't I?
Yes, of course you did.
Yes, well, he's angry, and you see he's wrestling with his feelings and emotions, right? And he, of course, says again, I took a vow, and that's kind of what it all comes down to. And he arrives home late that night, and she says to him, where have you been all night? His wife, Daphne, says, where have you been all night? You've been out doing God knows what with God knows who.
Yes.
And we think, ooh. That's a little strong. And the Duke says, you wound me. We've not been married more than 3 weeks, and yet you already imagine me disloyal. And so I think she says right here, doesn't she?
Yes.
We both know your reputation.
Yes.
She's calling him out
as
a rake that he once was.
Yes. And we all know what a rake is. Have we ever said, what is a rake? I looked it up. It's basically
it's
like...
a gardening tool. I don't know. No, what is a rake? A bad guy.
It's basically a man whore.
No, is it really?
Yes.
All this time I've been using that word like it was nothing.
Yes,
it's quite.
Oh
dear,
it's quite scandalous.
Goodness, get control of yourself, dear.
Yes, he's worse than we thought, dear.
Oh dear.
I mean,
wow. So she's a little worried that maybe he's reverted back to
Well, and she says it's clear that you find there's nothing left in our marriage. So she thinks and
if
she's kind of mad at him.
About us, maybe he's found,
right, maybe he's out with someone else.
Let's not even go there.
But the Duke seems shocked, and he says, "Well, is that really what you believe?"
Yes, and I definitely know he wasn't doing that, and I don't think she believes it. She's trying to wound him.
No, I think yes. When we get angry, we all say things we don't mean.
Of course.
Yes, I agree, and we're all hoping, that perhaps they'll have a little makeup game of whist, and they'll make up, and they stare at each other. And then they do start to make out quite passionately. They can't control themselves, which leads to some quite intimate moments on the staircase, which we could have done without.
Yes,
perhaps we wished too soon for too much. Didn't quite need to see that much.
We overwished.
Yes, be careful what you wish for, as Lady Whistledown might have said, or the Sisters Sanditon now say.
Yes, be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Well, she says, should we go into the bedroom and finish what we started? And he's looking up at her kind of like a little boy, right?
Yes, the look on his face just kind of
but then
lost.
He just flat out says no, quite to
He's
all
so
of our
torn.
frustration.
Yes.
And he basically tells her, and I'm going to quote this here, if you are with child, right, I shall stay and do my duty to support you both. If not, we shall remain married in name only. You will be provided for, of course, in a matter fitting a duchess, but I shall not darken your doorstep again. Our lives will be entirely separate. This cannot happen. This will not happen. Do you understand me?
Oof. And she goes, well, that we have no longer trust each other? Yes, Your Grace. I understand that quite well. And they both storm off to their rooms.
Fat words.
Oh, dear. Yes, that was quite harsh.
Yeah.
He's basically told her this is how it's going to be. We're gonna be done.
How did we get here?
I don't. Here's what I don't understand. Okay, if she's not with child, he's going to leave and be like, I'm leaving because I never want to be with child. We can't have this pretend marriage.
You tricked me, but luckily it didn't work.
But if she is with child, he says, I'll stay in name only. We'll act like we're a happy couple, but we won't be happy.
Why? At that point, you've already done the deed.
Yes. Why not just accept it?
You've already broken the vow.
Yes. Why not just be happy at that point?
Move on.
I don't understand why. He can't just make the best of it and be happy if that's the case.
That's a hole for me, dear.
Yes,
well, all right. Back at Bridgerton House, Daphne has arranged a meeting for Colin and Miss Marina, right? Colin needs closure, I guess, and he has to confront Marina, and Daphne is kind of
Well, he would have got closure in about 6 months if he just waited.
Yes, anyway. And she begins to feel sorry for Marina, right? Yes. And Marina says, I did not know better. I really thought this was important for us because we've been a little harsh on her.
Yes, we have.
As a viewer, the one that went she's trying to trap him. Ooh,
yes. But if we think about what we've seen of what young ladies know, they don't know much. Perhaps she knew more living on a farm or what, but...
And the man takes full responsibility and fault in this, in my opinion. And she says, I did what I thought I must.
Yes.
No one ever truly helped me or guided me in a different direction. I had no choice. And that's just 100% true, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly. And, Colin goes on to mention something about, what if we had, this deception of a marriage? And Daphne's listening, and I think she's really comparing their situation to her and her, because they've had a deception in their marriage, and their whole marriage is kind of a sham. And,
it's kind of like a mirror here, right? And then the crazy thing is that Colin tells her that he believed himself so much in love that he probably would have forgiven her anyway.
If she had just come to him and told him the truth and said, I'm with child, will you still marry me? He would have married her anyway.
He's a jewel.
Woo!
I can't wait to see if we ever do get to see his story.
Yes.
He deserves happiness.
Yes.
He's wonderful.
Yes, he is. He's quite a good guy.
He's a catch.
Yes. Well, on to another luncheon, another garden party hosted by the Queen herself, who comes over to Daphne and the Duke, and she says, well, I have a wager that there'll be a Hastings heir within the year. Dear. And she says, are you yet with child? Well, that's a bit intimate, like none of your beeswax.
Yes, a little rude,
but
in my
opinion.
Suppose, that's all it
she's
was.
the queen.
They needed a male heir, an heir and a spare, right?
Yes, exactly. And Simon says, well, we have certainly been devoting our energies to that endeavour, Your Majesty.
We have?
You could have fooled me. Well, he acts the part, doesn't he? Right.
Yes.
What a cool liar you are.
That's
anyway.
Right.
So Daphne says, your duplicity comes so naturally. And he says, I seem to have learned from the best. Ooh, right in front of everyone. And poor Mama is overhearing this, looking very concerned, as are we.
Yes.
Our favourite love match is crumbling faster than a day-old scone. It's horrible.
Crumbling faster than a day-old scone. I'll have to write that one down. That's too good. That's too good to forget.
Yes. You may use that. Yes. Lady Whistledown should post it.
You should coin that phrase, dear. Well, the Queen is also still concerned with finding out who Whistledown is, right?
Yes.
And so she calls a nervous Eloise over to see if she's found anything out yet.
And Eloise,
give me your answer. The Queen demands it. And
Queen
Eloise has
like, she's just going to be like, oh, okay, fine. I know who it is.
Yeah. Eloise has just got this great comic ability about her. She is
physicality.
Yes. Her face, her body, everything is comical, and it's just perfect for the part.
She's so funny. Yes. Now, back at the Featheringtons, not back at the Featheringtons, back to the Featheringtons. Yes. They have arrived at the Queen's luncheon.
Oh, yes.
Much to everyone's dismay, everyone is looking down their nose at them, and these people have been involved in a scandal. What are they doing here?
Right.
And Eloise pulls Pen aside, really fast, and says, how are you doing? She's best friend. She's so worried about. She knows it's not easy, and she says, well, Mama says we are ruined. We've not had a call up or whatever. Yes. But she actually almost seems more interested in Colin. She goes, but how is Colin? And she goes, well, Colin, she loves him so much. And Eloise is like, well, he's fine. Men always recover from these things.
Ain't that the truth?
And it's so true. It's just the men,
Yes.
So anyway, Lady Featherington approaches Lady Bridgerton and tries to, sort of repair the rift that has happened. And, isn't it terrible that this happened under my very roof?
Right.
And I just didn't know, and she's duped us
plays
all.
the innocent.
Right. Look at what she's done to me. And Lady Bridgerton is having none of it. She doesn't buy it, and she literally storms off mid-sentence, and poor Featherington mid-sentence. And everyone is watching, and it's so bad.
I felt sorry for them. Did you?
Yes, I felt very sorry. The Queen's man has to come over and tell them to leave.
Yeah.
Just, but we have an invitation.
Even Lady Featherington, I even felt sorry for her.
I did.
I mean,
she
doesn't have a nice,
she
an easy
can't
life
help it.
either.
She didn't want Marina there. The father made her stay, and
what
as
she
soon as
did
she
was
had
wrong,
a scandal,
but I still felt sorry for her.
Yes, she was trying to save her own daughters also.
Yes.
As soon as she had the scandal, she wanted to send her away, but she couldn't. She was trying to do the best with what she had.
I agree. Well, Daphne is quite shaken by the whole thing, and she tells Cressida, judge not lest we too be judged.
Yes.
Isn't that from the Bible?
Judge not. Yeah, I believe it is.
If it isn't, it should be.
Yeah.
Well, she walks off, followed by Mama. And Mama says, you can always come to me when you need advice. And
yes,
I can offer
like
my
on her wedding
wisdom.
day. Yes, right.
Yes.
Oh, please.
Go out there and watch the hounds, dear.
Yeah.
Figure it out on your own. And Daphne replies, or perhaps she'll send me off with more vague metaphors and trite remarks. Daphne is not too happy with Mama in this episode.
No.
She's really kind of letting her have it.
She's blaming her,
and
really,
she says, if only your motherly advice had prepared me for the world.
Yes.
You taught me nothing of the realities of married life, of marital relations. There you have it, right there. She didn't know the birds and the bees. That's the fact of it, right?
Right, and that's, she blames her mother.
Yeah.
She was.
Well, I do too.
Yes, and she feels like she's been made a fool of because she was so innocent. She didn't know.
Right.
But she's interrupted by Lady Danbury, who comes and also sees that something's up. Mama tries to, it's the heat. Well, we all know it's not the heat. Daphne then goes off to call on Marina because she's just feeling really guilty about this whole thing. Mm-hmm. She goes to apologize, and she says, I want to apologize to you.
Yes.
I understood that you did what you thought you had to do. And I think that may be a correlation with Daphne feeling like I did what I thought I had to do.
Again, a
like,
mirror.
They didn't know.
Using the two situations and having them
and how Marina said she didn't know. I don't think Daphne knew what she was doing. She didn't realize, really, she didn't know the implications, and she did what she thought she had to do. She did the best, right? She did the best she could.
Yes.
Marina tells her the story of, her and Sir George. And Daphne gets an idea in her head to try to track down Sir George.
Which I thought was nice.
Yes, and see, and she says, maybe he can be made to come back and take responsibility. She says, why should he be the one to choose your future? He is at fault here. To me, that's a double meaning.
There's a double meaning in that. What's that from?
Kenneth Branagh, much ado about nothing.
Yes! Another point for you, dear.
There's a double meaning because she's thinking about the Duke and how he has been made to choose her future, and he's at fault, and that's...
Right. Well, the next scene is Lord Featherington trying to rig the boxing match, right? And he asks Will to throw the match so they can both make their fortunes. Yes. It's a win-win, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
I'd do it if I were him. Now, we don't know if Will's going to agree or not. He cares about providing for his family, which is the number one thing. What does a man care most about? Providing for his family. Yeah. He has one simple arrangement, and all the money problems will be solved, right?
Yes, yes. Well, now we see that Daphne has been invited to an evening soiree.
Oh, this is fun.
For married ladies of the ton.
You and I would be a lot of fun at one of those, wouldn't we, dear?
Yes, we would fit right in.
Yes, if only we'd gotten an invite.
Yes. Lady Danbury, of course, she is so cool here. She says, welcome to my den of iniquity. All the ladies are dressed to the nines.
I already loved her. I loved her even more.
Oh, yes. She is just, all the ladies are dressed to the nines. They've got their hair and feathers and everything. They're just the music. They're all laughing and
tippling.
Tippling. I don't know what
champagne.
Yes,
whatever
they're drinking
you call
something. Yes. I don't know what they're drinking, but it looks like fun. They're having
playing
a lot of
cards,
fun. Yes,
betting.
Gambling, and everybody's having fun. Daphne takes the opportunity, though, which is really why she came, to ask...
That's why she went.
To ask General... And to me, I mean, really, Daphne didn't quite fit in with everyone else. Everyone else was really gaudy and, like, worldly, and she was kind of like, oh, and her hair was still down, you know.
But you could tell she thought, hey, this
is
fun.
She had fun. Yes, she had fun. And she was winning. She was, beginner's luck. Anyway, Daphne takes the opportunity to ask General Langham's wife about Marina's baby daddy, Sir George. Right? She says, I want to find this man. And she goes, well, you're welcome to ask him. I can't ask him. He's never at home. And Daphne's like, oh, I'm so sorry. But she says, no, it is quite the ideal situation to live a separate life from one's husband.
Ooh. So Daphne's kind of getting an education here. The way I saw it, sitting at these tables, thinking, okay, so
this is not what I thought it was like.
Marriages are,
yes,
and
it's
not how I should be.
It's not what every young woman thinks their marriage will be like. Fairy tale, right? But they're all like,
yes, that's right. Well, Anthony and Simon are at the club
again. Yes, it's like the local pub if you have money.
That's right. What else have you got to do at night, right?
Yes,
but
of course.
It's like a gentleman's club,
right? But not that.
No, not that kind of gentleman's club as we know it today. And all that.
Of course, well, maybe there were. You saw Sienna and all those ladies in the nightclub walking and parading around looking for a sugar daddy.
You're right.
Maybe it is a precursor.
Get out your dollar bills.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Maybe it was the precursor.
That's right.
Oh.
That's where we get, maybe
that's
where
we
we get
the
the gentleman's club.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, dear. We're learning something new every day, ladies.
That's right. I shock myself sometimes. So anyway, Anthony says, well, I know you've obviously made a considerable error with my sister.
Yes.
He doesn't say it quite so
genteelly.
No. Is that his word?
He
genteelly?
said, genteel-like. I don't know.
Yes, genteel-like.
Yes, he says, well, I mean, I know Daphne's quite capable, but she's not capable of messing it up that much.
That's right. And
knows.
Simon says, you know nothing of my predicament. I'm trying to keep my word. Once again, so dumb.
Who cares?
Keeping your word to a dead man that you hate it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's so dumb.
So anyway, they throw around a bunch of insults.
Yes. Well, Anthony crosses the line with a final insult.
Yes.
And he says, what is most unfortunate is the fact that your father was so absent, he never gave you a proper example of how to lead a household. Ouch. Below the belt, if we could use a boxing reference yet again. That was a bit harsh. And that pushes Simon over the edge. They go at each other's throats. They knock into the glass table. Glass everywhere. Simon's bleeding, which I have to admit, Simon's the boxer. Why isn't Anthony bleeding? But anyway.
What else is new? You know what? These two are constantly fighting. We've seen this now, 3, 4 times? Fight, make up like an old married couple, I swear.
Yes, I agree. Now, if only Daphne and he could make up.
I should have made a love story about those two. Well, anyway, Daphne comes home and she sees Simon nursing his wounds, right?
Yes.
She goes to help and she holds his face in her hands, and you think there's going to be this
he
lovely
sits
moment.
On her lap. He sits on her lap. No, that wouldn't work. She sits on his lap.
They share this tender, passionate kiss, and we think, oh, maybe they're going to reconcile.
Get the remote control ready. It's going to happen again.
That's right. And Daphne then
she has to open a big mouth.
And say, a child would be a blessing. It's been 3 days, for pity's sake. 3 weeks. Well, you've got it. Well, whatever. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
Yeah, do you think you'll be able to play whist in every room in the house if you have children running around?
You'll be up at 2 a.m. nursing instead. If only she knew.
This is what they did, though. We know this is what they did. They got married, they had children.
That's right. She finally asks him, tell me why you're so adamant.
Yes.
And he says, I swore a long time ago I would never sire a child.
And he explains a bit more. You know, my father cared more about continuation of the Hastings line than he did about my mother, about me, about anything.
We know all that, Simon. Get over it.
She doesn't know it. He's finally opening up to her. So this is
finally
good.
Opening up.
Finally, she prods him, and he finally opens up.
Yes.
And he says, so this is the first time he tells her.
Yes.
I swore, where is the line? He says, I swore that the line would die with me. And she said, this is some token of revenge?
Yeah, she can't believe it.
She's really mad because what? You know,
that's a stupid reason.
Yeah, she's like, you made a vow to me. You betrayed me in our marriage bed. I mean, this is, you know, and he says, it cannot be undone.
Yeah. And then Daphne replies to that, and I'm going to quote it. If your hatred for your father outweighs any affection that you might bear towards me, then you are right. It cannot be undone.
Oh, it's so sad.
And she goes on to say, well, we'll know if I'm with child within the next few weeks.
Next few days.
Then we'll know how to spend the rest of our days.
Yes.
Right?
If we're to spend them...
Miserable together or perfectly happy apart.
Well, we know they wouldn't be perfectly happy apart, would they?
So silly, you know. But, I mean, she just had to say that, of course, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Just, you know, kind of one of those things. Anyway, So Lady Whistledown is talking of gambling, the higher wage often carries the greatest reward. She says, but as the season continues, the biggest gamblers have yet to truly show their hand, which leaves gossip in short supply in recent days. Can you imagine? Nothing to gossip about. Please,
Yeah, they do.
We could talk all night about all the gossip that's been happening. Let's keep this short. We're almost out of time. But she says, in fact, this author can think of no other event that merits a mention. Not even the Queen's luncheon. My. That does not bode well with Her Majesty, I can tell you that.
No.
So now the Queen is out for blood. She is not happy. She's out for revenge.
Because her luncheon was snubbed.
She was
right?
snubbed.
Yes. Well, Lady Whistledown does know that the Duke and Duchess of Hastings have yet to entertain callers together.
Mm-hmm.
Our newlyweds are no doubt still secluded in nuptial bliss. Yeah, right.
Oh, dear.
While she's narrating this, we see them ignoring each other in the halls. He's eating lunch without her, right?
Yes,
And Lady Whistledown talks about their diligent efforts and a possible new arrival within the year.
Oh,
Not at this rate.
No, well, we don't know.
That's true.
She may be, she may not be. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
But yes, well, now the scene shifts. Trying to say that 5 times.
Yes.
The scene shifts abruptly to Penn and Eloise, who are still trying to figure out the identity of Lady Whistledown. Eloise is just frantically, I've got to figure this out, and they start. She really wants Lady Whistledown to print a retraction of what she said to save the Featheringtons' reputation. That is her main goal.
It's her best friend.
She wants to save Penn. Yes, and Penn suggests, well, why don't you go to the concert tonight? I know you're not out, but you could go. You could talk to the Queen. You could see, what's happening. So, she go, okay. She said that the column that singled Marina out was different than all the other Whistledown columns. It seemed so personal. So that's interesting. We were thinking, why would Lady Whistledown single out Marina? So that's a little bit odd.
Think about that.
Yes,
ladies
yes,
and
we don't
gentlemen.
know.
Well,
yes.
Eloise is getting all dressed up for the concert, and her mother says, no need to rush your entrance into society, right? And she looks nervous.
She's trying to be nice, say
but
you're not
while
ready.
she's there, she gets to talk to the Queen, and she tells her she thinks Lady Whistledown is someone who works closely with the members of the Ton, right? But yet is not a member herself.
Right.
So she believes Whistledown to be a tradesperson. This is important.
Because now we all think, well, Eloise is doing a lot of hard work. She's a very smart, she's a very smart young woman. We think, oh.
Yes, but the Queen is not impressed, is she?
No, she dismisses the theory. She says she's hired some Bow Street runners, which I think are like coppers. Low-class coppers. And they're going to catch Lady Whistledown in the act this very evening. They say she goes to the printer. We found it out. She's found out some good information. She knows where she takes her publications.
That's right.
Eloise has had enough of the evening, though. She's done. She's so upset. She's been snubbed by the Queen now. This is just all a joke. I don't like any of this. Right, so her brother accompanies her home. On the way, he stops at the modiste to pick up his lady friend, or is she a lady? Perhaps not. Madame Delacroix. Eloise is shocked.
Yes.
What are you doing? She's just, well, and they're talking, and, the Madame suggests that the Featheringtons weren't there tonight, were they? And she goes, well, how would you know that the Featheringtons weren't going to be there? And all of these flashbacks and things, and she's putting two and two together.
We're seeing.
And she had just said she thought it was a member of the trades, a tradesperson, and she immediately thinks, you are Lady Whistledown, Madame Delacroix. And we all think that too now.
That's right.
And we're thinking, oh, she must be right. Viewers, what did you think at this moment? Did you have an inkling of who Lady Whistledown was?
Let us know
Did you have
what
an
you
opinion?
thought.
What did you think? Yes, comment.
Well, meanwhile, back at the concert, Anthony uncomfortably spies Sienna with another man.
Yes,
right?
looking cozy.
And while the music is frantically swelling, we
Vivaldi.
see Marina. She tries to end her pregnancy and nearly ends her life.
Oh, yes, it's very sad. As the music continues, we see the Duke actually reach over and take Daphne's hand, and they have a little moment where you think maybe they could be all right. And Daphne freaks out from it. She looks at him. She looks down, and
we know what's happening.
We know what's happening. She runs to the other room. She's not with child. She starts just crying her eyes out. It is so sad.
Wonderful
Wonderful acting. I was like on the brink of tears. Yeah. She just broke down completely. Mama rushes in.
The music's
she's hugging.
going.
The music, it's such a dramatic scene. And we know that what Daphne realizes is that it's over for her. Because she knew what this meant. If she wasn't to have a child, the Duke was going to leave.
But
and they would be
Duke
over.
knows this too.
And the Duke knows it too. And you see, while she is crying, they show him, and he is getting choked up. And there are tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
And it's so heartbreaking because he doesn't really want that either. And I think part of him is sad that she wasn't a child.
You're right.
And part of him wishes that she were so that they could be together and possibly work it out.
And the episode is called Oceans Apart, which is so fitting and kind of just heartbreaking. And did you notice that how the music stopped?
Yes, at the end, the music stopped, and all you could hear were Daphne's sobs fade to black.
Yeah, that was powerful. A really, really amazing ending.
Yes.
Well, dear viewers, This ending most definitely left us clutching our bosoms. Has Marina gone too far?
Breathless.
Or will she recover? What will become of our star-crossed lovers? Will the Duke leave Daphne forever? Or will they find their way back to each other? You'll have to join us next time as we discuss all the details.
Please subscribe, like, tweet, comment, join us on Facebook. Love us. We need some right now. It's very heartbreaking.
Goodbye.
Bye. Dear messieurs and mesdames, there's trouble in paradise. As we are going to read the script for one more time. Seems that sadly the honeymoon is well. My dear
Well,
messieurs
that last
and
episode took
mesdames,
me a
there's
few
trouble
days
in
to recover
paradise,
from.
and
My
it seems like
delicate
sadly
sensibilities
the
can
honeymoon
hardly
is
stand
well
it.
over for
My
our
finger was
once
sore from
lovers.
having to fast forward
Welcome
so much.
to the Sisters Sanditon.
You got it? Got it.
All right.
Well, that last episode took me a few days to recover from. My delicate sensibilities
Your
could
delicate
hardly
sensibilities.
stand it.
Your delicate sensibilities, please. We all know you have the least delicate sensibilities between the two of us.
I
My
resent
dear.
that remark.
Oh, please. We all know you're the scandalous one.
You're supposed to say you resemble that remark.
Oh, oops. Unscripted.
Oh, dear.
Try to sparkle, my dear.